1, 2, 3. Rise. Come on. There we go. Rise. Here they come. I love my voice. It's working. It's working. Rise. Have you seen these kids yet? That's a Taylor Swift guitar. They're wonderful. Just a little bit more. Are they, I hate to ask, are they adults by any chance? Usually mutants like this tend to be adults, right? Rise! Thank you. Wonderful, huh? Welcome to Redbar. Welcome to our Rise. They were great. They were excellent. I'm glad we got that figured out there for the screen there.
I love those
What do you think about that as our new Rise song? Just maybe every week. You know, they shoot everything. Those three kids shoot everything. What do you call that? Vertical video, right? So it's never formatted good for the TV. So that was hard to do on the fly. I had to do a little zoom, rise, volume up combo there. All right, welcome to Bar. We've got some great stuff to show you on our TV screen. I just heard this was right as we were getting started. I saw someone in the chat mention TJ Miller talking about us on Brennan's show.
I got a clip. I put it in.
Oh, you got a clip? What was it?
I haven't watched
Kevin
it yet.
or Neal?
Kevin.
Why was TJ Miller on Kevin
He
Brennan's
loves the Dabbleverse.
show? I'll tell you who I love. Neal Brennan.
I'm not fucking kidding you.
Yeah.
We put on Neal Brennan's special. Mike sat there laughing.
Oh, I was dying. You know, Neal Brennan, I think, has got, I don't know, he's been going through so many different things to get his mental stability right? He's done the ketamine treatments. He's constantly doing therapy, talk therapy, electroshock therapy. He's tried it all. Whatever he's doing currently seems to be working. And I'm officially here to say I am a Neal Brennan, not just fan, stan. I'm a Neal Brennan stan. I not only enjoy the way that he looks, I like his act as well. And I love that his hair is what's called, he's not balding, but he has see-through hair. Okay, he has toothpicks spray painted black, and you can see through them, and it's gelled, and it's a slight men's spike. Who came up with men's spike? Was that Tim Heidecker who came up with men's spike? That's kind of what Neal Brennan has, and Neal Brennan's latest special was fantastic. So
To you.
Oh, you didn't like it. You didn't.
I don't really.
I thought we were both laughing. Oh, okay.
It was great. He was great. He said did some crypto material. He was like, "What's up with these crypto guys?"
Okay. So you didn't like it.
I think that my hatred for Neal Brennan as a person clouds my ability to laugh at him.
Okay, I actually liked it,
you were
though.
laughing.
I was laughing. I thought that he was sharp. Now, actually, I think here's the thing, because you do have to say this. People take everything we say very seriously. There's a section of this audience who believes everything that they've ever heard on Redbar. So I will say this. I accidentally laughed at something I was looking at on my phone during the Neal Brennan stand-up special. She didn't see.
No.
Oh!
You laughed. That was, your eyes were on Neal, and your mouth went ha-ha.
Okay, I was just trying to get us out of this in some sort of a way. Okay, we've got the Mexican singing. Did you see that? Those three little kids. I actually, when I was on Instagram earlier today, I saw a lot of people posting those three little Mexican kids singing. So has this become like a big thing?
I don't know.
Okay, you said you had TJ Miller talking about us on Neal Brennan. Do we have that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see that. Is it in
It's
Where
at the
could I
top
find
of
this?
Redbar. I'll move to next up for you.
Okay, yes. Next up
And
for
maybe
me.
we should become fans of Neal Brennan because it'll make Kevin mad.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. Okay, so here, this happened this morning. We were getting ready to do the show. We were 10 minutes away from show signs, as they'd call it. And somebody in our chat said TJ Miller talked about Redbar today on Brennan's show. I can't believe it's Kevin Brennan's show. What is TJ Miller doing with Kevin Brennan? Is this like a Skype thing? Yes, it is. Oh, there he is. I think they're trying to bring TJ Miller back. Do you remember him? Do you remember he had like a public brain aneurysm where he was calling in bomb threats on public trains? He was getting slightly canceled here and there for doing wackadoo things. TJ Miller used to be, he's from Chicago. He's done the Red Bar show a few times. And we knew TJ pretty well back in Chicago. And back in Chicago, TJ Miller, this is what everyone said about him. He's on pace. Remember this term? TJ Miller's on pace to be the biggest star. And then he kind of left the Chicago comedy scene. He got that Cloverfield movie. He started getting in all these movies. He started getting really big, and it was just up for TJ Miller. And then he started getting wacky. And what was so weird about TJ Miller is right as he started getting wacky, he also started looking really stupid. Remember that? It was such a weird thing. It was like, here was this guy. Everybody thought he was cool. He was this rising star. Everybody in L.A. couldn't stop talking about him. He had all this heat. He had all this hype.
Silicon Valley.
Oh, yes, of course, Silicon Valley with my buddy Kumail, pre-Muscles Kumail, who was I very much prefer pre-Muscles Kumail, as do most people. But TJ Miller, yeah, he was on pace to be a really big star. And then when these weird cancellations started filing in, I think there was some murmurs from an old girlfriend that he was weird. There was that bomb threat that he called in on a train.
Someone in the chat says, how is a bomb threat even that bad? And you know what?
Well,
they got a point. What's wrong with a little bomb threat?
Sure, of course. But he was getting canceled. He started losing, and then he became a road dog. You guys know what a road dog is? There's nothing worse than a road comic, okay? There's no glamour in that. But yeah, TJ Miller became this guy who's doing like the improv at the mall, He's at the Mall of America Improv this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 9 shows. And, when he became this road comic, when he stopped being TJ Miller, the movie star, and became this road comic, he also started again looking stupid. And by that, I mean, he started looking insecure. He started, his whole look just became nervous. Well, let's see what he looks like today. I think he looks pretty fucking cool. Oh, he's with Chad Zumock. So Kevin Brennan is back with Chad Zumock? Is this true? I don't follow this Dabbleverse
that kind of stuff is hard to keep track of.
As I said, TJ Miller reminiscing about Redbar. Now, we haven't seen this, so this could be bad, huh?
Hopefully he doesn't.
There it is. I guess this is a Redbar in the Wild. This happened right as we were starting today, right? First thing on my mind. There's TJ. I think he looks great today. And there's Kevin. And I think he looks great too. I'd like to plead with Kevin for, again, I don't know if we got off on the wrong foot about something, but I feel like, and I don't know if you guys feel this too, but I feel like we live in a world where there's no reason Kevin Brennan should have a bad taste in his mouth about this Red Bar. Right? Don't you think so? Don't you think Kevin Brennan should like Red Bar?
It seems like he should.
Like me, and I don't know if I think he's just used to that. He's used to everybody kind of going against him. I'm here to say today, I love Kevin with all my heart. I'd probably never say a bad word. I don't know if you could even find me saying a bad word about him. If I did, it was just a joke. And I'd like to offer this moment, see, you want to be friends or something like that?
If you need any money, let us know.
If you need money, I know you're big into money.
It's a lot.
If I know anything about these Zoom shows, it's that they're big into money.
He opens that wallet,
Counting.
nothing but dust.
Well, I don't know about that. See, don't say that, because then they declared that we're poor. You know, there's a big argument amongst shows of this level, how much money they make, who's poor,
Yes,
who's
that's
rich,
they've got charts.
how much super chats they make, and all this I don't care about any of that, because I'm here today to say whatever Kevin makes, I'll double it and just send that to him each week
He
in
needs
trade.
it bad.
In trade for. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I'm trying to make friends with somebody here.
I'm sorry.
And you're imholting all of it. Yeah, please.
Finish your speech.
Okay. I am offering my friendship. That friendship comes with a weekly amount of money from me. Okay? That's not a joke. And same with Chad Zumach. My friendship is yours. Okay, finally, let's hear what these guys said about us today. Here on Red Bar. Welcome to Red Bar.
TJ, do you remember Mike Redbar on the comedy scene? He had the comedy club.
Yeah, but I never really played the comedy club. I did his podcast. He had a podcast when sort of it wasn't even a thing. He was like so far ahead of the curve on that one. For reals.
Did you hear that?
Hey, TJ, Jim Morrison, when you were coming up in the Chicago comedy scene, do you have any fond memories of Red Bar, and what do you think of his show?
What a Red Bar.
Why? So everybody's spending money. They're super chatting, asking TJ about Red Bar, which I've seen this happen on a lot of shows. A lot of shows tend to bring up Red Bar. Now, let's see what TJ, it's Jim Morrison. Very funny. When were you coming? Okay, blah, blah, blah. Red Bar. Let's hear.
Yeah, a lot of Red Bar. Marshall, great fucking Heaven's Gate profile.
Wait, is he saying he's Jim Morrison?
Yeah, I think so. I did have fun. I mean, he had me on his show a bunch of times, and it was really fun. And now I understand why you're a fan of Kevin's. He was very contentious.
Whoa!
And very sort of
reviled. He's reviled.
Yeah, and so like Kevin, he's kind of, that was what he did. And I felt that I was never really on the other side of his ire.
What does that mean? I was never really on the other side of his ire. You're going to have to help me out with that. What does that mean?
You're a mean guy, but you're never mean to him.
Oh, really?
I think that's what he means.
You see that? And I've been really nice to a handful of people in my life, TJ Miller being one of them, always been very respectful. What does Chad say? I'm glad to see Chad's back up and at it here. I thought they wiped this guy off the net. It's nice to see that he's still standing strong and he's confident and he's smiling and
he looks great.
Doing well. Okay, let's hear the rest of this. Just coming in this morning.
It was interesting. I liked him. I thought he was a good dude. Funny.
I liked him. I thought he was a good dude. You know, the stuff like this is losing its meaning to me. People saying they liked me or people even talking about me. This used to give me a rush, Jules. This used to give me a high. And now it's almost too many people talking about me. Too many people saying they like me these days. And I don't know what's to like. So let's get to the bottom of this. Let's hear more.
But it was still it was interesting. I liked him. I thought he was a good dude.
Well, I'm not trying to be reviled. I haven't done it my whole career. I just fell into it late in life. It's fun.
What? What was that?
Carlos Danger, how creepy was? Do we read this?
Wait.
Yeah, how creepy was Thomas Middleditch, and did it bring you joy?
Oh, okay, good. This is good because we're into this too, this Thomas Middleditch stuff. You remember this skinny nerd from those Verizon commercials, Thomas Middleditch? He was also in TJ's show, Silicon Valley, with Kumail Nanjiani. He was the main guy, right? That little autistic nerd. He was debriefed. What do you call it? He was canceled for, what was it, like some sort of sex party orgy? He was like a big sex guy, right? That Thomas Middleditch.
He got divorced, and then his wife came out and said stuff about him. I forget. So
he was a big sex guy. He was going to the clubs, the sex clubs. He was doing he's kind of a, dare I say, a Mark Norman figure. Yeah. If there's anything, if you don't know this about Mark Norman, there's two things that you need to know about Mark Norman, okay? First of all, he's alt-right, okay? Oh, he's far-right comedian Mark Norman. That's how you should refer to him. But he's also a sex party orgy sex guy. You know, if you pay attention to any of the stories him and his wife have told, and I love his wife. What is his wife's name?
May Planert.
Is it May?
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but
okay, but listen to this. Mark Norman's wife's name is May Planert. And she won't change it to May Normand. And she's like an open mic level comedian. Mark will not help her. Mark will not, what do they call that, where you give somebody Charlotte Lawrence? What do you call that?
a boost. I don't know.
No, where your family lets you come on. Nepo kids, which we don't have a problem with here. But he won't provide any nepotism for his wife, May Planert. I want to get one of those planets for my desk. Okay. All right, let's hear what TJ Miller's going to say about Thomas Middleditch. We had an update about Thomas. Thomas kind of kicked out of that improv industry, right, Jules? They don't really like him anymore. He used to be a big player in that Nerdist comedy world with Chris Hardwick, who's also canceled for sex stuff, right? Kumail, I'm sure he's got something like that going on. But Thomas Middleditch now, did you know this? He's just a Twitch streamer now. Did you know that?
Yeah, we showed that on the show.
Oh, we did show it. Okay, good. Yeah, he just does YouTube gaming for 5.7K views. Let's hear what TJ says about. Seems like TJ's back. Jules, look at his face.
He looks good. He looks confident.
There's something about him. So this is what I mean. TJ used to look like this, and then when he was getting canceled, he looked just like this, but without confidence. His eyes were too wide all the time. Mm-hmm. This is what happens when a guy gets canceled. They hold their eyes like this for 5 months. They hold their, can you see this? They hold their eyes like this, and you can't, they're not cool anymore. This is how a guy should hold his eyes. Like this, right? Does that come through the shades, Jules? I can't see because I'm squinting.
You look relaxed.
A guy's eyes, if they're not squinting, if they're not making a face like this, that means the guy's totally nervous about something that he did. So when you see, Bill Burr's got his eyes open now. Bill Burr used to be like this. Hey, it's me, Bill Burr. What about it? And now Bill Burr's like this. Oh, my God. Oh, it's me. They get this nervousness when they're up to no good. And I can see right here, TJ's nervousness, his big eyes, they're going down a little bit now, which is nice to see. That means he's getting through this cancellation. Okay, Thomas Middleditch. How creepy was Thomas Middleditch? And did he bring you joy? And did it bring you joy to see Kumail Nanjiani cry over the Eternals bombing? Yeah, that was a great moment, too, that Eternals. Kumail worked out day in and day out. He ate 800 milligrams of protein an hour, and he went like this. I watched every Kumail workout-related promo video.
And he did a lot of these.
He did a lot. I mean, really, Kumail gave his whole life to the gym. He's doing 6 hours in the morning, 4 hours, and then he would eat. Did you see how much he had to eat to get those muscles and how much he needs to eat? This is the problem. This is why I can't be big. I can't be hella Mike Harley. I can't eat that much. I start getting stuffed. So Kumail did all this work to be on Eternals. He wanted to be big. And then what? Now Eternals is gone.
Yeah, remember we watched that interview about how he was crying over the bad reviews and he had to go to therapy and stuff because of how much it bombed?
Yeah, which is great to hear. And it's great that he dedicated his whole life into becoming Muscle Man. And now there's no more Marvel Universe character for him.
If he was still a nerdy Indian, he would probably be
He'd get more work. He'd have so much more work if he was still schlubby, nerdy, dorky, weak Indian. But now he's muscle-bound Indian. There's not many roles for snobby, asshole, muscle-bound, big-jaw Indian. Okay, let's see how TJ handles this. Kevin, by the way, I want to compliment Kevin on his interview skills. Kevin Brennan is a remarkable interviewer. And you know what I think, Jules? I think people hear me and they mistake my sincerity for sarcasm. So when I say Kevin Brennan is a phenomenal interviewer, that to them sounds like I'm being sarcastic. I'm not. I'm giving Kevin compliments. I wonder if this is where the miscommunication comes into play. People think that I'm being snarky when I'm being sincere. It's the best I could do. Okay, let's hear how TJ does this. So we'll get out of that.
Wait.
Yeah, how creepy was Thomas Middleditch, and did it bring you joy to see Cumia and
He's honest.
Cry over the Eternals pie?
He's laughing
softly while answering. Sorry. Thomas Middleditch.
The loudness.
Thomas Middleditch is not creepy at all.
Whoa!
He is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. I did a 2-man improv show with him in Chicago, and it was one of the funniest things. Those shows, I would just cry laughing on stage. It was so funny. So he's a good dude. I think he had some insecurity on the show, but he is one of the funniest people on the face of the planet. And then, no, I never wanted Kumail Nanjiani to...
What about the sex stuff?
Fail at all. But the Eternals, which is so sad because, you know, they tried to make a Pakistani superhero deal. But the problem with the Eternals was, and we watched it, all of us watched it, all the Chicago guys. And Kumail's really funny in it, but it's just... It was so
very good. So there it was. We didn't really get any tea on Thomas there at the end, but you heard, this is the part where you got to write it down. TJ Miller said he always liked me, thought I was funny, seems to be a friend of the show. Write that down. Put that on the obeyment list. Very
the
nice.
obeyment list is too long lately. We can start making some more enemies.
Too long. Yeah, everybody seems to really like us. Even the people we go after the hardest. Really makes you think the ones who don't like us, what's their problem? We've got some great Redbar in the Wilds coming up today on today's show. Some that have really taken my breath. Not since the Tim Heidecker Redbar in the Wild have I been so honored here coming up later in the show.